Thank you for joining us for another episode of Disturbing Reasons to Be Afraid of the Dark. This is part 2 of Stories of Close Encounters. I hope you all enjoyed the first video. I won't talk long because I want to make sure I get them all in here for you. But first, if you notice, do you see something different on my table? I have no candle holder because right after I finished filming this one, I went to go get some water. It fell and broke in half. You want to see? See? It broke in half. I was upset. I still am. I can't find this piece. It's probably behind the mirror or something on the counter. I don't even know. But I'm not happy about this. It was really pretty. You see all the little roses on it? It was so cute. I should have knew better. But I really liked it. I should have cut a hole. Next time I get one, I'm going to have to cut a hole in this sheet so that way I could put it. I might just give me a... I don't want to cut a hole in this. I might give me just like a tablecloth or something. I'm so disappointed in myself. It was so pretty. But anyway, let's get into this video before I waste too much time talking about my candle holder. But anyway, make sure y'all stay tuned and check Sunday for our video of the trail, Chickaboo Trail. Just make sure you stay tuned. I'll let you know if we aren't able to go. And if we're not, I'll take you on our trail that we made in our backyard. We have a bunch of woods surrounding us. It's really pretty. You can see deer. You hear the coyote part ain't cool. In a way it is, but it's kind of creepy because you can hear them and they're so close. And if you know coyotes, they sound like a screaming woman. It's so crazy. It's creepy. But it's really pretty out here. We do have a main, like a little highway that goes to college. But other than that, it's pretty quiet out here. Every once in a while you hear like one of the loud 18-wheelers pass. But it's country. I love it. It's if you've ever lived in the country and then went to the city, it's chaotic. I lived in the city when we first moved here. I never want to go back. Like, I don't. Like, if I have to, I will. But if I have a choice, I'll stay in the country. Even though sometimes I get scared late at night when I go outside. That's because of the animals. And that's the only reason. Because some of the animals, when you hear them, it sounds really creepy. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started, okay? I'm talking my head off again. Let's get started. Light our candle. I can't believe my candle holder broke. Well, at least now I know it won't fall over, but the candle holder was a nice little, memento thing. It was cool to have in the video. I'll get over it. I have so much in this book, and it's so hard. Sometimes I get lost. Okay, we're on the 4th kind. When it gets real. Like, it gets real. Like, this is when they, like, you're not just seeing them. They're touching you, and you're on their ship. This scares me. Like, I'm not scared of the paranormal, but it terrifies me. It really does. Like, it triggers me a little. But I'm doing this video anyway, so you gotta get used to it. The best way to do that is to talk about your fears. Okay, Close Encounters of the 4th Kind. My grandma and grandpa got divorced when my dad was a kid and never spoke to each other. Both claimed to have been abducted by aliens when they were in their 20s. The story they told was always exactly the same in every detail. They were once driving through Nevada at precisely 9 p.m. and bam, it's 6 in the morning. Just like that. It was like the world stood still while they traveled through time. They both say it was the strangest, most unexplainable experience, and they could never figure out what really happened. The craziest thing is when I was younger, my grandma was always saying she was going to get abducted and she was too afraid to be alone. She always used to say that the aliens did something to her and that she was going to die. I always assumed she was losing her mind, but she died last year with no explanation. Oh, that gave me goosebumps. Made me sad. But anyway, when I was writing it kind of made me sad too. Close Encounters of the 5th Kind. When I was pregnant, my son and my husband went out of town for work one night. Our bedroom had one very high, small, round window on the wall above our bed. This experience was very brief, but I had an extremely vivid dream. I hope it was a dream of being on a type of obstetrician's table. It's the tables they put you on when they examine you. With my feet in the stirrups and an insanely bright light shining right on me. I woke up actually screaming, as though I had been awakened by a bright spotlight from the window. I felt I'd been somewhere else. Crazy pregnant dream? I don't know. I never had any other close to being as real as that. It was 2+ years ago, and the memory of it is still crystal clear. Creepy. Close Encounters of the Sixth Kind. On September 7th, 1967, Snippy the horse, whose real name was Lady, a 3-year-old El Paso mare, failed to come back to her pasture for her usual morning drink on the Harry King Ranch, 32 kilometers, 20 miles, kilometers, that's what miles into kilometers, northeast of Alamos, Colorado. It's in Colorado. 2 days later, her mangled body was found in the pasture. Parts of the animal had been clearly cut in a surgical manner, and no tracks of any kind were found near the body. However, there were some strange markings discovered at the crime scene. 6 indentions formed in a circle 1 meter 3 feet in diameter, which many people felt were the marks of the landing gear of some kind of craft. On examination of Lady, her heart and brain were found to be missing, and a strange formaldehyde-like odor came from her carcass. Her owner, Neil Lewis, and the ranch owner, Harry King, went to the site where the horse was found and noted both a particular odor like incense and a bush that looked as though an intense heat source had knocked it down from above. Neil later discovered that the boots she wore to the site tested as radioactive, which explained why the piece of mane she picked up at the site had burned her hand. Neil Lewis contacted the United States Forest Service, and Ranger Dwayne Martin reported detecting higher than normal radioactivity up to a 2-city block radius around the body of Lady. This event is still unexplained and kicked off the animal mutation phenomenon in the United States. Okay, the 7th kind. I could not find any articles on it. And the one I did find was too sexually graphic for, I feel like I didn't want to read that, because in a very many ways it was very disgusting, and I thought maybe, I didn't know if a lot of y'all would want to hear that. I knew I wouldn't want to hear that on YouTube, so I am not going to read it, and I did not even write it down, so I can't read it. So even if you wanted to, I could. But I am not going to read it. But there are some cases, if you look on YouTube, there's a documentary of 2 women that claim to have been being abducted, and they couldn't get pregnant. Like, they had tried with their spouses, but they could never get pregnant. But one day, the woman woke up, and she went to the doctor, and she was pregnant. 6 months passed, she was starting to show a little, and one morning she woke up and she wasn't pregnant anymore. She believes that she was abducted, and she had vivid dreams of being in a ship, and she remembers the one particular before she woke up and she wasn't pregnant anymore, that they took her and they cut her open and they took the baby out and put the baby in some kind of like incubator, and she had a very short incision, like a C-section below, but it was really, really small. She said it was really odd. It was like that big. It was like, she said about 3 inches. And she went to the doctor, and they said she had miscarriage. But she never passed anything, and he did the ultrasound. There was no baby left. She was fine. There was no scoring. It was very weird. The other lady, I think she went 8 months. Like, she would feel the baby move and everything. And she had the same exact dream. But I don't think she was married or even had a spouse. She was, it was her and her sister that was having the same experiences. But if you look it up on YouTube, I believe you can find it. I should have got the link for it. But if I do, if I remember, I'll go look for it and I'll put the link in the description box, okay? Close Encounters of the Eighth Kind. The I don't know how to the Delta Pass. It's in Russia, Germany. If you look it up, there's actually a movie on it. It's kind of crazy. The Delta Pass incident occurs sometime around February 2nd or 3rd, 1959, when 9 hikers trekked off into Russia's rural mountains heading for a mountain called... I'm going to put the name up here. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to embarrass myself because I cannot pronounce it, okay? Which in the local landscape means do not go there. The party's specific destination was known locally as the Mountain of the Dead. So from the start, the entire trip seemed dreadful at best, and even worse at the end. The hikers would all soon be found fatally injured in a variety of horrific ways. 4 days later, when the Russian military found their corpses, they were more than a little shocked at what they found. For instance, when they inspected the hikers' tent, they found that they had not only fled in a huge hurry without taking anything with them, such as shoes or coats, but they had actually cut their way out of the tent as if something had gotten inside and was after them. When the bodies were autopsies, the doctors were even more shocked than the military by the wounds these 9 people presented to them. Some of the hikers looked as though they had been aged to the point of being mummified. Others had injuries normally only found in a violent aircraft or automobile accident, where extreme trauma to the human body occurs from violent forces. Needless to say, the Russians kept this quiet for a very long time. On top of that, unidentified orange orbs were reported in the same area that night before the hiking party met their terrible fate. Also, a local tribe with the ancient roots in the Urals, called the Mansi, have an ancient legend in which 9 people go off on the same route and never return alive. That is a really good story. You can look it up. It's everywhere all over the internet. It's not hard to find. There is a movie, but the movie is kind of like far-fetched in many ways. But what... conspiracy theories, what do they not hide from us? I mean, we don't even know what they're doing. They don't tell us anything. I believe that there was a asteroid heading our way and we were gonna die. They probably wouldn't even tell us. Like, I'm honest, just to keep peace, we would die peacefully. They wouldn't tell us anything at all. We would just be hit by it and have to deal with the consequences after the fact. That's how I feel about that. And I think I don't want to make a video about it. I'll kind of do. I might. I'm going to think about it, but we'll see. If you have any requests for anything, please let me know. And remember, my friends, stay scared, my licking loose.